For more than a decade now, the Kardashian-Jenner family has pretty much defined what global fame looks like. But as the original stars start to mature, that whole powerful brand machine is beginning to turn its focus. So today, we're going to explore that next wave. We're talking the new generation, the evolving strategies, and of course, the immense pressures that are shaping the future of this, entertainment dynasty.
It all kind of kicks off with this one lyric, piercing on my hand, the other holding bands. This is from Northwest, the oldest of the next generation. And in just those few words, she perfectly captures the core tension we're about to dive into. It's the world of a preteen crashing head-on into a multi-billion-dollar empire. And let's be real, this doesn't feel like a random lyric. It feels like a very deliberate, almost provocative entry into the public consciousness.
So here's the crucial point. For the brand to survive, it has to evolve. With Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe's public lives shifting more towards their families and business ventures, a kind of void is opening up. And who steps into that void? The next generation. Kids who have literally been born and raised inside this media fishbowl. The big question is, are they just the children of celebrities, or are they the next meticulously planned chapter of a global enterprise?
And the first, and definitely the most prominent example of this, is Northwest. Her recent emergence on the scene, it isn't just a kid stepping into the spotlight. Honestly, it feels more like a product launch. It's been assertive, it's been controversial, and it has been documented down to the last detail, signaling a whole new, maybe more aggressive phase for the family brand.
12. That's it. That number is the single most important piece of context here. Everything that we're about to talk about, every action, every lyric, every social media post, is happening at an age when most kids are just trying to figure out middle school, not a global media rollout.
Yeah, this really just spells out how accelerated her public life is. We're not talking about a school play or a cute family video. This is rap collaborations with her father, Kanye West. It's dermal piercings on her fingers, which she then kind of mockingly raps about. And it's a public Instagram account that got millions of followers almost overnight, broadcasting this persona that's all about being rebellious and, fixated on wealth.
Let's sit with these lyrics for a second. This is more than just a kid talking tough. It feels like a carefully crafted message, right? The mention of getting banned and skipping school on the daily is building a very specific anti-authority kind of image. And it's an image being beamed out to millions of really impressionable followers.
And this really brings us to the core question of this whole situation. How much of what we're seeing is genuine, unfiltered expression from a creative kid with two very famous artist parents, and how much of it is just the inevitable result of growing up in an environment where your identity is your brand and controversy gets you clicks? There are reports that her parents, Kim and Kanye, have been clashing over this. Kim apparently even deactivated North's Instagram at one point because of safety concerns, only for it to come right back. That really speaks volumes about the deep tension over her public exposure. And this is exactly why it matters on a much, much larger scale. Northwest is Gen Alpha, the first generation born completely in the 21st century. For them, social media isn't just for fun, it's like infrastructure. And as this chart shows, with their user base just exploding and how early they get devices, Gen Alpha is a ridiculously powerful force. North's debut isn't just a celebrity moment. It's a huge signal to a demographic that literally shapes cultural trends. Sure, her page might be managed by her parents, but she is speaking directly to her peers. Okay, so now let's pivot to another really critical part of the dynasty's current strategy, the adult generation. Specifically, Kylie Jenner's super high-profile relationship with actor Timothée Chalamet. If North represents the future, Kylie represents the perfected art of managing a narrative right here, right now. This isn't just a romance, it's a strategic partnership playing out for the whole world to see. This breaks it down perfectly. The public story is all about intense romance. We hear from sources that they're living together, that they're obsessed with each other, and that Timothée is even stepping into a parental role with her children. But underneath all that, there's a strategic reality. A stable, high-profile relationship shines a positive light on both of their brands, it keeps sponsors happy, and it drums up positive press during really crucial career moments like movie promotions or new product launches. And if you watch closely, their public appearances seem to follow this noticeable pattern. First, reports will come out about a cool down, only to be followed by the sudden surge of public affection right when it's needed most, like during awards season. Timothée's speech, where he thanked his partner, was a huge moment of what you might call reassurance signaling. And of course, there's the ring, that pear-shaped diamond she wears all the time, fueling non-stop engagement rumors that keep them in the headlines. And the final piece of this whole puzzle?
the family's official stamp of approval. When Caitlyn Jenner gets stopped and asked about the relationship, her comments are always measured, always positive. Calling him a good kid and saying he's very good to Kylie isn't just a dad's opinion. It's a strategic move. It's meant to legitimize the relationship and weave it into the bigger family story.
But all this carefully polished stuff happening now, it doesn't just erase a much more chaotic past. The family's history is absolutely filled with public dramas and genuine crises, and those events give us really important context for understanding the high stakes and the immense pressures they're dealing with today. You could say the brand's resilience was literally forged in scandal.
And we just got a stark recent reminder of this with the arrest of Lamar Odom, Khloe Kardashian's ex-husband. His story is just such a powerful and kind of sad example of the darker side of that fame vortex that surrounds this family. His personal struggles, they didn't happen in private. They became major, televised plotlines that completely blurred the line between reality and entertainment.
Yeah, this wasn't just a difficult marriage. It was a public spectacle of addiction, infidelity, and crisis. And the peak of it all was his near-fatal overdose back in 2015. Even though they were separated and he had cheated on her, Khloe stepped right in to manage his medical decisions and his recovery. That act of loyalty, playing out for the whole world, became a defining moment for her public image and a cornerstone of the family's whole narrative of sticking by each other no matter what. So when you put it all together, the grooming of a new generation, the calculated management of relationships, and the echoes of past trauma, you get to the central theme, the absolutely staggering price of this level of fame. Sure, it shows up as immense wealth, but it also means constant public scrutiny and some really intense internal pressures.
This quote is fascinating because it pulls the curtain back a little. It's from an old argument about paying for a family trip, and while they project this super united front, this reveals these surprisingly normal money tensions that can exist even when you're all billionaires. It just goes to show you that even for them, money and what's fair are constant points of negotiation.
And then, on the complete other end of that financial spectrum, you have this number, $8,000. That was the estimated fuel cost alone for just 2 of Kim's private jet flights on a single day. It perfectly illustrates the disconnect. They might argue behind the scenes about splitting costs, but their lifestyle to the outside world is one of unimaginable wealth, which in turn brings on enormous public scrutiny and criticism, especially in an age of environmental consciousness.
So at the end of the day, we're left with this final, crucial question. The Kardashian-Jenner fame machine has proven to be incredibly durable, incredibly adaptable. It's weathered scandals, shifting media landscapes, personal crises, you name it. And now it's grooming a new generation to take the reins. But as these children are thrust into that exact same cycle of intense exposure and pressure, you have to wonder, is it sustainable? Or will the very machine that built this dynasty ultimately be the thing that consumes its future? And that, right there, remains the great unanswered question.